Hey, what's going on, guys? You guys having a good day? Hope you are. And as you can see, I'm in the truck right now. I'm waiting. So I'll just make a video for you guys. This is the truck that I'm in. And that's the idle shutdown. It's kind of annoying. Let me show you. Yep. This is my whole setup right here. Neat and tidy. That's how it is. And in today's video, it's really about getting the learner's permit and what it takes. So I'll show you the truck more in depth in the future, but this is so I can get this out of the way already because it's long overdue and that's the most boring part, like I've said before. So let's just get to it, get it out of the way. So in order to get your learner's permit, you would have to go to the DMV or make an appointment and try to fill out for a Class A license, and from there you can take the test. It all depends on different DMVs, so this is just going to pertain to California. You need to take your medical evaluation first, which is for the DOT, and before you can start even just to pay for the DMV test for the learner's permit. It's the written test, so you have to do that first. It doesn't matter where, just as long as it's certified. I don't know the certification, but you're supposed to get a medical evaluation, have it sealed, take it to the DMV, show that you want to get a Class A, and then you can take your Class A as soon as, whenever you can or whenever you're ready, really. You pay the fee, which could be around $80 depending on your endorsements and all that. So the best thing I could tell you to do, if you're thinking about doing it, try to get the book from the DMV. Try to get the Class A training book. It's pretty big compared to the Class C. So it's like 4 times bigger and a little bit thicker too. But you don't have to necessarily read the whole thing. You just have to read all part of the Class A, the air brake section, the combinations, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need to read is those parts. But there's other endorsements where if you want it to add on there, you should be reading those as well. So they have the table of contents right there, and you can check them out, which ones you want to read and not read, so you don't waste your whole time. Another thing that I can recommend you to do is get like commercial driver's license apps on your phone. They do have the same questions as they do on the DMV test, and it might even have too many that some might not be there. But if you go through the whole thing of those apps, you should be all right. Just prep yourself, give yourself some time every day. 10 minutes every hour or 10 minutes out of the day. Like, you should be on top of it if you're really considering to get a Class A. And then also look around for schools in your area, check them out, see their star ratings, and don't go based on only alone their star ratings. Just give them a call, let them know like you want to sign up and see how it is. Sometimes you might have to just go in because it might be a little bit it might be a lot of information actually. So try to get yourself familiar with them and see what they offer. And then, so even though it's a written test, it's really on a computer. Your Class A, which is general knowledge is what it's called, is going to be 50 questions. And you have to get 40 questions right. So you only have 10 questions to get wrong. And you still pass it. Then you have your air brakes, your combination, your tanks, your hazmat, your 15 passenger for school bus, or regular buses, to carry passengers, and then doubles and triples. Those are less questions, so they can range from like 20 to 35 questions each, except for the hazmat. The hazmat, I think, is about from like 35 to 50, because it's just as big as the general knowledge. But them being less questions means the less you can get wrong. So I don't remember too well on the endorsements, but I know that if you had a 25 question endorsement, then you can only get 5 wrong. So that means you got to get 20 right. So when you're taking the written test, or it's not written, but let's just say for the sake of the video, on the written test, each question you will have 3 multiple choice answers, and every time you get it right, you move on to the next question. Now if you get it wrong on that question, it'll let you know, and it'll tell you which one was the right one. So that's what's cool about being on the computer. Even if you get so many wrong, you still have to go through the whole thing, and then it'll tell you at the end if you passed it or failed it. Now you have 3 chances for each one. So 3 chances for the general knowledge, 3 chances for the endorsements on each one, until you have to go ahead and repay for it again, so you can get 3 chances again. And you could take your 3 chances all in that same time. So if you fail right there on the spot, you can take it again right there on the spot again. I'm just gonna let you know the questions are not gonna be the same, so just be careful. If you feel very confident after the first one, then take it again. But if you don't feel confident, you know what, you're failing them, it's best that you just get off and just go home and practice. Keep practicing. At least you have an idea of how the test is going to look and what it has and stuff like that. So as soon as you pay for the fee and they let you start to take the written test, just go take it, just to see where you're at. The most important part is that the general knowledge test has to be passed, or else you're not getting your Class A, and endorsements won't necessarily be worth it. But if you get a Class B, then those endorsements still work. Some of them don't correlate with the Class B though. So try to focus on the Class A first, since it has so many questions, and try to read it and all that, and practice yourself with that one. After you pass it, they're gonna ask you if you've gotten your medical or not, and this is the part where I said they might not ask for it before when you first paid for it, but they're gonna ask you, do you have it with you? And I did, so I got it to them, and that's when they gave me the learner's permit, which is a piece of paper saying that you're able to train or ride with somebody else that has a Class A experience. I did this before I went to the school, like I said. I wanted to make sure I can get this out of the way before I can start going to drive. I don't know if there might be some schools that might let you go ahead and drive without the learner's permit. But just think about it this way: if you go to the class and you get very good at it, but you don't pass the learner's permit, then there's really not a point in keep going and doing the school for driving, right? But I do hope that you do pass that learner's permit and do it as soon as you can, so that way when you get done with that, you can move on to the other other sections that you have to study for to pass the driving test. There's a beeping sound on this. It's just because of the engine idle shutdown. So every so often it's gonna try to shut off. It's automatic on these trucks. So anyways, try to get that learner's permit out of the way. Now, on top of all this, this is where you do all this so you can go to the school that you're going to go to, and you're going to pay out of pocket yourself. Now, if you go to a mega carrier or somewhere where they pay for your school, then all this is going to be all in that company, and they're going to take care of it for you, or they're going to take care of it with you. So they're going to be there step by step. Every company is different, so I don't know, but I just know that's the gist of it. They even go as far as showing you everything that could happen being a truck driver. Learning about the electronic logs or paper logs, and that's very important when you're going over the road. You need to know that. Many more things that they could show you compared to the school that you're going to pay for. Because when you go to the school that you're going to pay for, they really don't have classes where you sit down and you go wait for a teacher to come by and lecture you. It's not like that. You just go straight to driving the trucks. That being said, nobody's on you. It's all up to you to get it done as soon as you can. So, as soon as you start getting your learner's permit, you try to study, get those flashcards going, get it out of there as soon as possible, because you're paying them and you want to get out of there as soon as possible so you can get your job. It all depends on your situation, on where you're at. If you have a family, if you have a good paying job or not, if you're single, if you just have just a girlfriend or just a boyfriend, it all depends where you're at. And wherever you're at, you have to think about if you're willing to take the risks and sacrifices that you need to, whether that's going for the school that you're going to pay for, or that's going to a place that they're going to pay for your school. Now, the differences in both of these is that for going with a mega carrier or somewhere where they pay for your school, you're guaranteed a job. You're guaranteed a Class A truck driver job. Whereas at school, when you're getting paid, that it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a Class A as soon as possible. It's possible, but you really have to find it, and you have to be able to, get the right amount of time to go and find that job. And the other differences between the two, from what I've heard, and I've called one of them personally, it was one with the mega carriers. The rate of the pay that they had for each week, and for 3 months and a whole year and stuff like that, it didn't sound too good. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get much out of it. I know I talk about sacrifice and stuff like that, but I have a family and a place to take care of. So, I was like, I can't do that because it's not gonna be enough for me. If I see that if I was single or if I was just coming out of high school, I would have been able to do that with no problem, because it's low paying. It's like it's less than minimum wage. Let's just say that it's less than minimum wage, but in return, you're getting the experience automatically with driving with a Class A truck, with a trainer, and you're gonna get a year or two that you need so you can move on to the company that you want to go to, where they can pay you more. And that's the differences between those two and what you do. Now, I went to school and paid it out of my own pocket, and it was a sacrifice I had to do, but I was willing to do it because the thing is it's a risk that you're doing. It's an investment. You put in money, you don't know if you're going to get it back, but you have to look at your odds and what's against you, and hopefully it turns out the way you want it to, and which for me it did. You know, who knew I was going to be a Class A, in my lifetime, basically. I didn't think I was going to pass. I didn't think I was going to be a Class A truck driver. I didn't think I was going to get a job as soon as possible. But it happened. You just have to have the will and power and sacrifice to do it. So keep your heads up and set your mind to it. You know, I basically covered everything, about going to school and the differences, what you need to do to be a Class A truck driver. And from here on forward, I'm still gonna do videos like just about life and stuff like that, because I still need to take out all this that's out inside me, basically. Just share it to all you guys, and help you in any way that I can. And hopefully you can share these videos as well. Anybody else that needs it or needs help, needs to look at the videos. Yeah, so I hope you liked the video. This time it wasn't too long, so that's good. And I'm gonna throw in a little mix of the driving experience here in the Class A world too. I'm a Class A truck driver now. Officially am. Getting my foot in, getting the experience. I didn't have any experience driving a Class A truck driver, and that being with a long trailer, the 53 footer. But I do a good job. I'm doing a great job. Even on my second day, I was out by myself already, and I was doing good. And for the past, so this is the third week, and within the last 2 weeks, I've already I went over the road already 2 times. It was pretty fun. I liked it. So I'm gonna show you guys more about this, what I do. And hopefully you guys hang around. And that'll be it for today. Hope you have a good day and make the best of it. See you guys.